So what's up YouTube, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video about the Triumph Scrambler 400X. So this is a new addition in the circle. In fact, this is my friend's Abhishek. He picked it up for I think roughly around 3,25,000 from Telangana, and that's the on-road price, and for that you get a lot of bike. In fact, I have done a ride review and currently in Wayanad. So I've driven it from Hyderabad to Wayanad, roughly around 800 plus kilometers. I'm going to share my observations, my ride review, in fact 3 positives, 2 negatives, in fact areas of improvement, and that's something that I'm going to discuss in this video. So stay tuned till the end of the video and also do subscribe while you're there. So the first positive about this bike is that this is a very practical and a very nimble bike. So you will enjoy it in the cities as well as in the highways. The main reason is because of the weight, roughly around 168 kgs curb weight, and it's very nimble, and also the tall stance make it very flickable in the city. Also on the highways it weighs up good. You have enough of ground clearance if you hit a rough patch, so especially on the highways which has huge boulders, you can easily glide through it. The suspension also adds up to it, and the higher ground clearance also adds up to it. And this handlebar is on the taller side, which is also wide, so you can flick it in and around in the city, and also on the highways it's really good. So that's something which is there. Weight savings is one thing which has gone while designing this bike, and it shows while you ride it. Second thing which I like about the bike is the build quality. So being a Triumph, I think they have not left any stone unturned, and you can get to see that every nut and bolt is very meticulously designed, and it is of top-notch quality. And this is a ground-up design, hence you can see that the frame is built in such a way that you can add many more components into it. Like for example, you have the street right now, and this is the Scram, and there is a cafe racer also on the same design language that they are going with. And yeah, like that you can make this brand move forward in the 400cc subsegment, especially in India, which is predominantly dominated by the Royal Enfields and the KTMs and also Bajaj. So having said that, the build quality is really notch, and I especially like the suspension. This is a long travel suspension, especially for the front and the rear, and this does a fantastic job, especially when you are encountering patches like this, and that's what you have seen. And yeah, so the build quality is really nice, and every attention to detail is really top notch. As you can see, the holder for the headlight is very nicely designed, and the paint quality also is really good. So small bits like this makes it a little stand apart. If you see the if the handlebar turns, there's a indentation over here on the tank as well, so that's a good thing. The seat is designed in such a way that it's a roomy seat, and adding all these things is the frame, which is the bolt-on subframe. If you see, the rear portion of it is the bolt-on unit, but this frame over here, you know, houses in such a way that there's no underpinning over there, so there's no down tubing, and this one makes it, you know, little lighter, and hence I was saying that it's very nimble in the city. So that's one thing which is there. And also if you see, every paneling, everything is in its place. The front mudguard is metal, this portion is metal, the tank is metal, so the componentry which has been used, right, is all metal. Even over here the rear fender is metal. So from that point of view, I think this stands apart by making sure that the quality is really top notch, and you know, you cannot compare this bike with any other 400cc because it has the equipment, hardware, and also the quality mainly from Triumph, which is really top notch. And the third positive is certainly the equipment in which it comes. In fact, for a Scrambler, right, couple of things are much needed, like the race suspension, ground clearance, the underbelly bash plate. So all these things, this bike checks all the right boxes, and it comes within the price range, which is 3,25,000 on road. So what are these equipments? I will show it to you one by one. So number one is the upside down forks. These are from Showa, and these done they do fantastic job, especially on the highways as well as on roads like this. It soaks up all the bumps, and whatever you throw at it, it soaks it up. So that's very good. And I think even the rear suspension, the travel is on the higher side compared to the street, and it does the duty. Number two is the tubeless tires, in fact alloy wheels, so that's a good thing, and these are block pattern tires, so that's a very nice touch. Front is a 17 incher, the rear is the front is a 19 incher, the rear is a 17 incher. So from that you have a peace of mind, unlike the newly launched Himalayan 450X, which doesn't come with tubeless tires. So that's a headache, and it ruins your journey every time when you get into places like this, and then there's a puncture, and then you go to a hassle of towing it and all those things. So that's, I think, an important thing that every manufacturer has to at least give an option where they could give, or in fact not an option, in fact they should stop making vehicles which are not coming with tube tires or tubeless tires. So that's something which is there, and then later adding up like an accessory to upgrade to tubeless tires. So I don't think that works out, because you don't have to shell out another 25,000 just for the rims as well as the alloys as well as for the tubeless kit. So that's something which I don't feel is going in the right direction. Giving tubeless tires right in the initial stage only, that only helps the vehicle, and in fact you can also capture a lot of market share as well, because it's hassle free and tension free. Coming further to the accessories part, as I said, it comes with slipper clutch. It also has 6 gearing, so highway riding is stress free. It comes with oil cool engine, so that also is a nice touch. The LED lamps is okay from a design point of view, but not that great for highways, so that's there. And it also gets this traction control feature. So right now it is on, as you can see, but you can also switch it off if you're doing riding like this. If you're going in places like this, you can also turn off the traction control off and slide the rear tire. So that's something which is there. It also comes with this double barrel exhaust, and the exhaust is up swift, so that also is a nice thing. As I said, this comes company fitted with this bash plate, so that also is a nice touch. It also has the protection for your radiator, that also is a nice touch, and it also gets this protection for the front forks. And yeah, because of the USD setup, at least they are giving some kind of a protection, so that your fork seals life is increased. So that's there. And it also has this lighter frame, as I mentioned, doesn't have down tubing, so but still the engine acts like a stressed member. But adding to that, I think the bash plate does the duty mostly of taking up a lot of the gravel and any undulations if it's hitting the engine part of it. So that's a good thing, and Triumph has done enough of testing to make it sure that that's how it is. And apart from that, I think the seat is of a good quality. It's pretty wide for the rider and the passenger. It also comes with a hazard light, so that also is a nice touch. Dual channel ABS standard, and it also comes with slipper clutch 6 gear. Apart from that, the other goodies include your knuckle dusters, so that's there. You also have this wide handlebar, and if you see this, it's slightly raised as well, and also the crossbar which has the Triumph logo. The mirrors are of good quality, and these are these are flexible, but could be a little bit on the bigger side. Just that I didn't like the small nature or the circumference of the mirror. It could have been a little bit big. The tank is again a metal one, and you also get this tank pad so that you can grip on if you're doing saddling. Apart from that, I think the goodies are you also have this hazard light switch, so that's there. And then you can do aftermarket fitting, like you can put the aftermarket or Triumph on the top rack. You also have pannier racks, and also you have a crash guard as well. So that also is sold like an accessories. There are also a couple of tank bags from Triumph, and the list is huge. You can also check it out on the website. So coming to the negatives, in fact, I would say there are only two, and the first one being the Triumph showrooms or the sales and service network. Currently in Hyderabad, I believe there are only four, and going to those service networks and spending close to 40-45 minutes just to reach the destination, I think that's something which can be a problem. In fact, because it's a new brand, I think Bajaj has to do much more in terms of expanding its service network. If you are on long journeys like what I did, in especially in Wayanad, there are very few, and also the journey towards this, say if something happens, right, you don't have accessibility to quickly pick something from the service network. So that's something that I would say probably in the future state can be fixed, and I think that's something which is my first negative. So the second negative is the small little bits, like for example, on the highway this headlight doesn't make any sense. The high beam and the low beam doesn't make any sense, and it is very I mean the intensity is very less. And also the second one being that the tank is just for 13 liters, 13.5. They could have made it little more bigger to accommodate more fuel, because it's a 400cc roughly giving around 28 to 30 kilometers per liter, and that requires you to do some frequent stops for refueling. The other thing is the seat, though it's spacious and looks padded, but on highway journeys, right, this is slightly on the firmer side, and then for few it might be a good thing, but for me it could have been little more plush. That's what I feel, but that is something which I would say is my third point. The fourth point is that, and that's a very peculiar one, is I don't know if you guys own a Triumph. Just look at it, that the right footrest is slightly offset when compared to the left one. So what do I mean is that if you see it from the direction, right, you get to see that the right side footrest, so this one, is slightly back compared to the left side one. So yeah, so that's what I feel is slightly off. And where this comes into picture is that when you install this crash guard, it's a 3-point crash guard, at that time you can see the difference that the left side unit, so this unit keeps hitting your legs slightly. So that's where I've noticed that the left side the front left side footrest is slightly inward compared to the right side one. So that's a small observation, but again, you tell me if that's what it is, and yeah, do you leave your comments. And I hope this video was a little informative, so do subscribe and stay tuned for other videos about the Scrambler. I'll also do detailed videos about the Dominar, comparing both of them. Let me reach the 50,000 mark, and stay subscribed, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.